Hey family and friends, it's Chris here on Tuesday, April 17th, 2018, and I am sure happy to be with you all this evening. Well, what can we talk about for the evening? Well, why don't I tell you, it's been now 1 month since I've done my continual video updates on YouTube. So it was a month ago, March 17th, that's when I started doing my dailies, and I've kept it up for a month, and it's a tradition that I kind of enjoy. And I've mentioned this before, but I do enjoy watching a lot of YouTubers throughout the day. I would say that's one of my main sort of sources of news and entertainment. My thoughts are, all of these folks actually have something to say. Mine are pretty benign in the sense that I'm like, oh hi, how's it going? Well, this is what I had for supper today. Simultaneous sip, everyone. Goodbye. And maybe that's okay. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to be controversial anyways. Call it, a stream I don't want to get wet in, wade in. I don't know. So, some people have various topics that define their channel. I really don't. Maybe that is my defining aspect, is that there's really no point. And that's certainly not true. I'm just being kind of cynical in a comic way. I mean, honest, I guess one truth is really it's just a chance for me to say hi to friends and family. It's a chance for me to maybe talk about my cancer, share some of my fears and my convictions and hope that I will recover fully. So, I think it's really, it still is a benefit to me to work out some of my digital things. Case in point, let me transition into this. I am unhappy with how my green screen is lit. I'll turn off my key effects, and now here I am in my basement with this green screen behind me and some lights on the side. And you can see that the green screen, I like how it looks in the middle, like you see how it's evenly lit and kind of stuff, but then at the tops it's darker. I think the key is pretty intelligent. That said, I could certainly do much better if I could manage. Similarly, I would also like to practice a full body key. And let's see, do I have my remote? I do. Let's try this out, friends. It's according, it's not as interesting, the video. Now here's some problems. Obviously the front three lights are set up in front of me so they're not shining on me, and I am pretty close back to these lights here, so it's not really too effective. What my goal is certainly though would be to get a whole body shot with a bit of space above and beyond. That is not going to happen this evening. This at least, it's got its issues too. I guess my other thing, let's see if I come forward here. It does. So anyways, friends, we'll let that one be. I think this more or less should get me back to a real decent, semi-decent looking thing. I'm not sure, I'm not as happy anymore seeing cut off headshot. Just looking at what is the standard out there, it's certainly, full frame with the full head, even on a tight shot. So, anyways, thanks for putting up with me and my rambling this evening. I will end our video tonight with a simultaneous sip. So on the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3, simultaneous sip. That is so refreshing. I like my bulletproof coffee so much. Wait, I think I'm gonna also stick on as an addendum here, as an extra. I'll post right now. Here's a couple more cartoons I did today. And so I did some of Kim, my sister, and her husband Jace. And so yesterday, you remember I did one of their daughter, my niece, Summer, and me. And so I did the two new ones of Kim and Jace today, and I also then revised mine and Summer's. What I realized, it's actually easier and quicker just to do all the drawings in Illustrator rather than a cartoon on paper kind of drawing. Even though I'd say that might be a little bit faster and more free-flowing, but by the time it gets transferred, it is a longer process. Yesterday, by sort of just copying what I had on paper, I never got really straight oval shapes, and I think that was one improvement today. Also doing things like making the noses smaller and all of those things. But you know what? I'm also daunted. I see, like, you know, real professionals, and or I'm not sure where I saw it, was just even on a YouTube sort of side video or something. But I'm like, well, I'm never gonna, I mean, why bother even? You know, I'm never gonna be really professional. However, my goal is just simply to keep it at this level where we can make little cartoons of ourselves and then share them. As far as today's characters, I did the characters, but then I also am now starting to give alternate, like, facial expressions, like mouth open and closed is really as far as I'll get this evening. You know, instead of having the arms kind of like this, down would be useful. So that will, those things kind of will happen tomorrow. Though then when we get a few of those little, you know, variables or variances, whatever, then the characters, we can move back and forth between them, and the characters can start talking and moving and all that kind of stuff. And it makes it a lot of fun. And my suspicion is once we kind of get it set up, a lot of that stuff is auto. And so it's always, it's more like script and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, hey, let's just have one more bulletproof coffee to wrap things up with tonight. So on the count of 3, friends and family. Oh, hey, an addendum. Here's another fun thing. And I also have to extend some gratitude where gratitude is due. And that goes again, once again, to my mom. And she came up from Duncan, and she helped me get just a few things from the store and from the pharmacy. Also, let's see, what else did we do? We went and we shot some visuals, some video down by the water. I was kind of wanting to get what sort of more of a working harbor visual, and we did find there's a spot not too far from where we were, but it is a little bit more of a boat launch and a bit more working. And then also it's kind of to our left or so, I don't know directions, by the water. I guess it would be north. But it's basically like a commercial lumber yard that's sort of closed off. But if I can find a viewpoint where I can still get some working boats in the harbor or whatever, that would be super good. I'd be so happy to get that. So finally, everyone, I'm gonna sign off for the evening. Big hugs to you all. You guys are awesome. Take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. Today's video was brought to you by the letter S and the number 2. Goodbye, everyone.